In my opinion, this comic book deserves a lot more respect, and it features one of my favorite comic covers of all time. Let's take a look. Okay, what I have here is the Amazing Spider-Man number 71 from 1969 that puts this book in the Silver Age of comics. The artist was John Romita Sr. and the writer was Stan Lee. So everybody knows how great Stan Lee is. And obviously he's the writer that, created Spider-Man along with Steve Ditko. But the artist on this book is what really makes it amazing for me. John Romita Sr. is my favorite Spider-Man artist of all time. There's been a lot of great Spider-Man artists out there, don't get me wrong. And there's a lot that rank very high, for me. But I think John Romita Sr. is my favorite. He's the artist that took over the drawing of Spider-Man after Steve Ditko. And like I said, Steve Ditko was one of the creators. So he's the first to draw Spider-Man, and that was in 1966, and he did the art for Spider-Man all the way up to 1972, which would be, the beginning of the Bronze Age. So you've heard me say it a million times on this channel, but I'm just going to say it again. Anytime I get a chance to get a new book in my collection where the artist is John Romita Sr., I'm going to jump at that opportunity. I really love his art, and you've also probably heard me talk about the fact that I love the art of John Romita Jr. as well. Now, his art is a little bit more modern, and he has an old style and a new style, and some people like him, some people don't like him as much. I like both the Romitas. I think they do a great job. Now, let's talk about this cover specifically, because like I said in the intro, it's one of my favorite covers of all time. I love this cover. This comic is not considered a key. I think it should be considered a key issue as an iconic cover by John Romita Sr. Also, he did sign it right there. You can see he put Romita there and like the swirl of wind around Quicksilver. But yeah, you've got Quicksilver running around Spider-Man, punching him over and over. And it's showing the motion. It's showing the, after image of Quicksilver running around Spider-Man. And I just think that the movement is amazing. The pose is awesome. The black in the background is really cool. Quicksilver's a really cool mutant, so I'm a fan of that character as well. And there's just a million things about this cover that I absolutely love. I mean, this is like as classic as you get for Spider-Man, in the Silver Age, in the 60s. And yeah, I just think this book doesn't get enough respect. Now, I've seen people price this book up really high. My source for prices on these books is Key Comics Collector, and they have it in high grade at $115, which I think is probably fair. Mine is actually pretty high grade. I did not pay that much for it, but mine looks pretty good. But I will tell you, I've seen people, with this on their wall for hundreds and hundreds. And, if it's in really high grade, maybe it's worth that much. I don't know. But I do think it just deserves more respect in terms of like classic John Romita Sr. covers, because I think it's so awesome. This is a comic book I definitely want to display. I think this book should be more sought after than it is. So if you can go pick up this book, for a cheap price right now, definitely do it, because I think this book is really awesome to have in the collection.